loaded, possibly forced into a white van, that the concerned citizen felt it was a bit suspicious, and so the deputy turned to try to make contact with that van. He spotted it and clocked it doing 45 and a 35. So at that point, he intended to stop it for a traffic violation. That van sped down this way from Shepherd Road, abruptly slammed on its brakes and turned down this way. The deputy chased it into the driveway, at which point the driver came down. I'm guessing he's about 100 yards down this driveway. He then saw a fairly well-dressed gentleman jump out of the driver's seat. He was wearing starched jeans, Western shirt, but everything very pressed and nice. Jumped out of the van and ran into the woods. He then, of course, heard a bunch of commotion in the back of the van, which made him investigate further. I'll wait till this chopper passes. That chopper's unrelated to us, by the way. He then began to investigate further and saw that the people that were in the back of the truck actually couldn't get out. And so he let them out, figured out pretty quickly that this was a human smuggling operation that he'd happened upon. And so we have these people here. I believe it's about 8 of them, ranging in age from 19 to 27, a bunch of young folks. And, some interesting things to note about them. Several of them are wearing camouflage clothing. Several of them have carpet glued to the bottom of their shoes. And so we began asking them questions. They told us a pretty heartbreaking story. To most of them, those that would tell us, it cost them upwards of a year's worth of pay to get smuggled across. They've been working away in Mexico. All of them are from Mexico. They've been working away to save up money to get smuggled across, and it cost them upwards of a year's worth of salary to do so. They then were trucked across. They've been walking through the desert, the woods, for probably 2 or 3 days. And then they were forced into one truck that they said they were forced to be transported face down. They were told not to look at anything, look at anybody. And at that point, they were, in their words, thrown into this van that we see them here. So, I mean, it paints a pretty bleak picture for these folks, pretty heartbreaking story, and God knows what was going to happen to them should they continue on that journey. We've seen too many times that journey ends in death or slavery, as it were. And so right now, we got them fed. We bought them some food. They told us that they had not eaten in about 2 days. So between myself and the deputies, we pulled our money. We actually bought them some tacos from one of the nearby restaurants, got them some food, and right now we're going to be taking them downtown. Some federal agents assigned to the Fusion Task Force are going to be questioning them and see what we can do with them from this point on. But thankfully they're safe, they're sound, they're being taken care of at this point, and we'll move forward. Esta mañana uno de nuestros oficiales que trabaja en la unidad de tráfico, un oficial que trabaja en motocicleta, él estaba trabajando en un caso con alguien que cometió una infracción de tráfico que no está relacionado a lo que lo estamos haciendo nosotros. Un ciudadano, una persona se le acercó y les dijo que una van, una camioneta que estaban metiendo personas a la van ahí cerca de donde estaban, y que posiblemente esas personas las estaban forceando dentro de la camioneta. Entonces el oficial empezó a checar. Él vio la camioneta, la camioneta iba a alta velocidad. Él, siendo un oficial que trabaja en tráfico, él empezó a perseguir la camioneta. Ellos entraron aquí, a esta propiedad. El chofer de la camioneta se salió de la camioneta y huyó a pie hacia el monte. Hasta ahorita no se ha encontrado. Nosotros lo andamos buscando con drones que nosotros tenemos. Ahorita van a lanzar los drones para buscar el sospechoso este. El oficial escuchó muchas personas que andaban forcejeando atrás de la camioneta. Entonces él se fijó, habían aproximadamente 8 personas, una mujer y 7 hombres entre las edades de 19 y 27 años de edad. Ellos nos contaron a nosotros cómo llegaron a este punto, que les costó mucho dinero para ser traídos para los Estados Unidos. Unos de ellos nos dijeron que trabajaron más que un año para ya darles el dinero a estos coyotes que los llevaron para acá. caminaron por el monte por 2 o 3 días, tienen varios días de no comer, no tomar nada. Entonces nosotros, entre yo y mis oficiales, pusimos dinero de nuestro dinero y les compramos tacos y agua embotellada, y ya están contentos ellos. Les dimos los primeros auxilios y les dimos algo de comer. Ahora los agentes federales que trabajan en nuestro esfuerzo van a fijarse qué podemos hacer con estas víctimas y cómo encontrar las personas responsables por hacerles esto. Pero ahora la investigación sigue por delante. Ahorita nosotros estamos trayendo uno de nuestros vehículos que va a llevar a estas personas para el centro para ya seguir el proceso.
Sheriff, muchas veces los migrantes, quieren pasar aquí a Estados Unidos, vienen voluntariamente. En este caso, ¿parece que es voluntario o parece que es forzada la situación?
Bueno, ahorita ellos nos dicen que empezó voluntariamente, pero ya ellos nos están diciendo algunas de las cosas que estos coyotes les hicieron, aunque no les pegaron, no los golpearon, sí forcejean con ellos un poco. Nos dijeron que ellos tenían maletas con ropa, fotos de su familia, artículos personales, y estas personas se les quitaron y los tiraron enfrente de ellos. Entonces, pues eso me quiere decir que estas personas, estos criminales que andan haciendo a estas personas, a ellos no les importan los artículos personales, las vidas de estas personas. Ellos solamente son como un artículo, como un animal que ser tirado un vehículo, tirado en el monte, y ya los tratan como quiera. Para nosotros nos da lástima, obviamente. Nuestros oficiales ya cuando se dieron cuenta que estas personas, estos jóvenes que tenían muchos días de no comer, no tomar agua, pues obviamente nosotros hicimos todo lo posible para darles eso.
Parece que están relief, que están contentos de que ustedes los hayan rescatado.
Yes, sir. Están bien contentos ahorita. Obviamente ellos les da pendiente que van a ser deportados, pero nosotros les dijimos que ya el gobierno trata estas investigaciones diferente y no es automático que vayan a ser aventados para atrás para México. Aunque eso no está en mis manos, para mí vamos a ver qué podemos hacer ya. Si ellos están buscando vida mejor, entonces les vamos a hacer todo lo posible para ayudarles. Yeah, I don't think this property is related at all. I think he was just looking to get away from the deputy, and he drove down the driveway. When the deputy still followed him into the driveway, he ran on foot and then just dumped these people. To them, this is just cargo. This is just the cost of doing business to these people. To these folks, they all worked years and years to save up for this. And be as it may, people say, well, it's illegal, they shouldn't have been doing it. Well, I get that. But they're looking for a better life. To them, this is just a way of doing it. And unfortunately, some predators took advantage of that situation and dumped them here.
And the search continues for the
Absolutely, the search continues. As we speak, we're launching drones. We were at this point not able to get air support, but what we do have as tools at our disposal, we do have a pretty good drone program. So we're launching some drones to help us find this coyote that's hiding out in the woods somewhere. And I think so. They described, they really opened up to us and told us what we wanted to know. I just really, for my own curiosity, these kids are young enough to be my kid, and so absolutely I'm going to talk to them and just ask them how it's going for them. They described that they had brought articles of clothing, personal pictures of their families, their worldly belongings. And they said those were taken away from them and thrown away. They threw them in the trash. They made them do away with it. Because again, to these coyotes that are profiting off of these people, that's wasted space. Yeah, I get it that this is your life, but that's wasted space. I could put another body in here and make more money off of that. So it's heartbreaking to know that these young kids had all of their life in a bag and it was thrown away right there in front of them. No, it's one female in the room, in the group. It's 7 males and 1 female.
Are we seeing this rise in these type of cases here in Bear County? We've seen them in other surrounding counties where they're making stops like this pretty often. Is this something you're starting to see increasing?
It's something that I've seen over the years, and this area is known for it. Obviously, San Antonio being a hub city, this area is pretty common. There's a lot of truck traffic, a lot of 18-wheeler traffic. And what we've seen, the intelligence that we developed, is that a lot of times the 18-wheelers will bring them here with 50, 60, 100 people. We've seen it last year during Snowvid, how many people were crammed into that 18-wheeler. And they bring them here and then they distribute them, 10 into this van, 15 into this van, 8 into this pickup truck. What we have here is 8 crammed into a van, and they weren't able to get out of that van. The deputy had to let them out. So, I mean, yeah, it's a scary, scary situation, but we see them cram these people into tanker trucks that aren't designed for people, 18-wheelers. Last year, those young folks that we got at that truck stop, they were freezing to death back there, so much so that they started panicking and ripping the molding off the doors. Obviously, to us, it's a heartbreaking situation because we've got to deal with them a certain way, but it's scary for them. And I can't even imagine being 19 years old, coming into this country, having to entrust in people that at the end of the day really are just a bunch of bloodthirsty predators, and they're throwing away your personal articles, they're cramming you from this van to this van, and, you know, get face down and don't look at me. That's a scary situation. This 19-year-old female, God knows what would have happened to her had we not come upon this situation.
Did they say which part of the border they came in through?
I'm sorry?
Did they mention which part, like Del Rio, the valley?
They weren't specific with me on which part they came from, but it seems to me they all come from the same area. They're not really friends, but they all come from the same area. And they were, you know, I was talking to them about what kind of work they know how to do and that kind of stuff. Just making small talk. I'm trying to keep their mind off of the bigger picture here.
Did they say where they were headed to?
Bueno, yo como padre ni me quería, ni me quisiera imaginar lo que iba a pasar. Por ejemplo, a la niña. Ella tiene 19 años. Ella está sola. Ella está con 7 hombres y quién sabe qué iban a hacer con esta niña ya llegando aquí a los Estados Unidos. Entonces, para nosotros la tratamos como una operación de rescate. Y pues les queremos ayudar a estos jóvenes con lo que se pueda. Ahorita lo que les podemos hacer es darles de comer y darles agua. Y ya después de eso las autoridades federales se encargan de cuidarlos después de eso. Pero ojalá y ya acaben con algo feliz para ellos.
Did they say where they were headed to?
No, sir.
Había
No.
hubo una descripción que dice, Sheriff, de que había una persona muy bien vestida. ¿A qué te referías? ¿Quién era esa persona?
Bueno, el coyote que iba manejando la camioneta esta iba bien vestido, tenía blue jeans bien planchaditos, una camisa bien planchadita, no se veía como estas personas. Estas personas obviamente han estado en el monte por varios días, tienen carpeta en los zapatos, pegada a los zapatos, tienen ropa de camuflaje. Obviamente estas personas han estado pasando por algo, por el monte, por el desierto. Pero la persona, el chofer, el coyote que iba manejando, él iba bien planchadito y él fue el primero que huyó de la escena de los hechos y ahí nomás los dejó a estos.
Quiere decir que nada más estamos buscando a una sola persona, el conductor de ese vehículo.
Ahorita se busca a esa persona y ahorita lo estamos buscando en el monte con nuestros drones.
¿Las personas llegaron a tocar a la propiedad de la casa?
No, ellos no se podían salir de atrás de la camioneta. El oficial los tuvo que dejar ir de la camioneta y pues ahí se sentaron ellos. Pues obviamente andan bien cansados, tienen hambre, tienen mucha sed. Entonces para ellos fue algo bueno que el oficial los encontró. Pues ni me quiero imaginar qué les iba a pasar a ellos, mucho más a la niña de 19 años de edad. ¿Quién sabe qué iban a hacer con ella? Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Johnny. Johnny. Johnny.
Yeah, we're gonna flip him to you right now. Antonio. Yes, sir. Yes. We were going to take a look. They're gonna, I think but Thank you, sir.
Te debo dinero, qué chingado. Sí, güey. Pesos. No, estoy mandando. Ya no entras. Ya no entras. ¿Tiraron mismo o qué?
Robert,
No, I didn't get it.